Yo, good morning. This is your boy Cordarius coming to you with another King's Corner. Y'all, I'm so excited to be able to do these things. Y'all, it's early in the morning. I got my coffee over here. I ain't gonna drink too much of it. Cause sometimes it don't agree with my stomach. But no, y'all, I'm excited and I'm ready. And I just thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for taking out the time to like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank y'all for taking out the time to even listen. I really, really, really appreciate it. This is just going to be an open space, an open, safe space. Like I said, we're going to talk about random stuff. Today, I'm going to continue what I was talking about yesterday. But how you doing? How you doing? Y'all know, like, you be programmed. Somebody asks you how you doing. You be like, oh, I'm good. But you really like ain't good. Like, so how you doing? Like, how you doing? How you doing here? How you doing physically? How you doing emotionally? Mentally? How are you really doing? Take a moment to just sit and relax and think about how you're doing. A lot of times when you're so used to giving other folks stuff and you're so used to doing things for other folk, like you can't even like answer that question yourself. You can't even answer, how it is that you're doing because you're so busy and you're so used to rather giving yourself to other folks. It's like your cup is empty, and I wish I had a cup, but I do with coffee. It's like this cup is gonna be empty eventually, and if I want some more, I'm gonna have to fill it back up. The more I take away from it, the more of it I pour out, the emptier it becomes. The same principle lies with your life. The more you pour yourself out, the more you empty yourself out, the more you need a refill, and God gives the ultimate refill, absolutely. But we know that God works through people. So who in your life can give you a refill? Is your circle like capable of giving you a refill? Can your circle speak life into you? Can your circle know your situation? Can your circle know when you're triggered? Because sometimes it's hard to talk about. Let's just be honest. Sometimes it's just hard to, especially through the hustle and bustle of life, when life be lifing. Y'all know what I'm talking about? When life lifing, you lose a job, you get into an argument with your boyfriend, you get a divorce, somebody dies. When life be lifing, who can get you back on track? Who is that person or persons that are there for you? One message that I got to tell myself a lot of times is just be still. Be real still. But sometimes it's hard to be still though. It is hard to be still when your brain like goes 90 to nothing. When your brain constantly just running, you constantly trying to make stuff happen. You done made stuff happen your whole life, matter of fact. Yeah, you done made stuff happen your whole life, but sometimes it's good to just sit down and rest. The good book say my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Say something like that. Good book say come unto me. Everybody that's heavy, that's going through something, and I'm going to give you rest. God rested on the seventh day after he created the world. It is good to rest. But I want to hop in back into where I kind of picked off yesterday. I don't have my church in the background. My wife's still asleep, but she'll be here in a minute. We're about to do our other little podcast. I can't wait for that. But yeah, Let's pick back up at that. Again, the King's Corner, y'all. This is a place where it's gonna be a safe space. It's gonna be, a place to where we just talk about any and everything. We just be chilling today. I just want to talk to the people that's going through something in their life and can't really talk about it. I want to talk to the people that's like, feeling it, that's not really feeling it, and I want to talk to my Christians, my spiritual folk that believe in God and that's been calling on God's name to help them through their anxiety. The people that's been praying and sweating and, crying, the person that's cried they last tear. I'm talking to you today. The person that's sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm talking to you today. The person that's talking to God constantly and feel like that God is not answering your prayer. I'm talking to you today. I want to let you know, I want to give you a bit of backstory before I dive into this. I was like that. I'm not going to go, overly deep into it, but, church hurt, right? Everybody's been church hurt. Some of the church hurt been your fault though, but we ain't going to talk about that. I moved my family to Denver, church hurt, planted a church, merged a church. That didn't really go well. And I actually struggled this past year. This is the first time anybody has heard this beside my wife. So excuse me if I get a little emotional. Y'all know me. Well, y'all don't know me. I cry if the wind blow wrong. I'm crying. This past year, it was tough for me. I felt like I had been doing everything God had wanted me to do. But I still wasn't getting the results, My anxiety was still kicking my butt. I'm like, all right, God, like, man, I moved my family away. Like, what else do you want me to do? And this past year, when we moved back to Texas, on November the 1st. No, I'm tripping. August the 1st of last year, 2020. I got a job August the 24th. Worked as a math teacher last year. No coaching. And it was tough for me spiritually. Moving back, I was outside. Like, I was going to lounges. I mean, like, no, we was living. Like, I ain't going to tell you everything, but y'all, I was living. Like, I was living, man. And I went through some dark days. I went through some dark days maritally. I went through some dark days spiritually. There were times to where I couldn't even say God out of my mouth. I would say like the higher up or the bigger being. That's how disconnected from God I was. And I'm getting an illustration here as I'm talking. I was doing something with my wife. With Deuce. Deuce is a daredevil. He's 100% boy. Man, I'm so happy I get to have two boys. 100% boy. He was jumping on a bed, and he wanted to jump into my arms, and I was scooting back. I kept scooting back. He kept telling me to scoot back just so he could jump, and every time he made that jump, and the further I got, the more intent I was in catching him. First when I was close, he was able to jump and grab my neck. I didn't really have to catch him. I just had to support him. He was still close enough. He would say, scoot back. He would push me back. And now the further he pushed me back, the more I had to catch him with my hands. And Deuce heavy, y'all. Deuce heavy. That boy 63 pounds. 63. 3'5", 3'6", if you want to count all of that hair on top of his head. 3 years old. The boy's heavy. And I got an illustration that, like, when God is close, it's easier we feel his presence more. It's easier to grab his neck. It's easier to embrace him. It's easy to love him. It's easy to hug him. But, when God seems far away, regardless if it's we pushed him away or, God has distanced himself from the things that we're doing, because let's just be honest. Sometimes the things that you're doing, God just don't like. The things that you're doing is not conducive of that of a believer. Trust me, I'm talking to myself because that was me last year. Couldn't even say God's name. But what I learned through my son jumping into my arms when I was far away, that's no matter where you are in your life, God will catch you. God will catch you. God will save you. That's what God does. God be Godden. When life be lifing, God be Godden. I'm telling you, God ain't never far away from you. I know that personally. A lot of y'all know me as pastor, encourager. A lot of y'all didn't know what I went through last year. Look at my year of quietness on Facebook. When I didn't post about God, I didn't. No, look at it. Satan had me in a snare. When God gives you gifts, Satan puts thoughts in your mind to get you to think that God don't like you no more. God gonna always love you. He created you. I'm gonna let that soak in. Can I say that again? Satan places thoughts in your mind to get you to think that God don't love you no more. But let me tell you, that's the furthest thing away from the truth. Let's read. Same place. 1 Kings. I want to pick up at 8 through 11, though. I want to look at that chunk. Watch this. So Elijah is running away. Go look at the last one if you don't remember. Elijah was running away after God had, helped him and supported him and saved him. Now he's running away, running for his life, And so now here we are. So he got up and ate and drank. He's in the wilderness, and the food gave him enough strength to travel 40 days and 40 nights to Mount Sinai, the mountain of God. There he came to a cave where he spent the night. But the Lord said to Elijah, "What are you doing here?" Notice the word "but." He's like, "What? Didn't you just see me come show up and show out? And you still running for your life?" Elijah replied, he said, I have zealously served the Lord Almighty, but the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you, torn down your altars, and killed every one of your prophets. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too. This is what God told Elijah to do. Listen to this. This is where I want to camp at. Go out and stand before the mountain, the Lord told him. As Elijah stood there, the Lord passed by and a mighty windstorm hit the mountain. It was such a terrible blast that the rocks were torn loose, and the Lord was not in that wind. And after the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not there either. And then after the earthquake, there was a fire, but the Lord was not in that fire. And then after the fire, there was a sound of a gentle whisper. And when Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his cloak. And he went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. And the voice said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Second time. I'm going to skip to verse 15. No, let me go ahead and read 14. Elijah said, I have zealously served the Lord God Almighty, but the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you, torn down your altars, and killed every one of your prophets. I am the only one left. And they trying to kill me too. Any of y'all ever felt like you were on your last nerve and it's like it's not good enough? Like you're on your last nerve, you're on your last string, like you on your last hope. And you feel like people be testing your gangster. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like you like one thing, you one trial and one test away from taking that wig off and that's how Elijah felt right here. He the last prophet. He don't know what to do. God said, "Go back the way you came." And I want to ask you. I want to ask you something. Have you ever asked the question, God, where are you? Here I am, but where are you? You tell me go to church. I read my Bible, kinda. I pray. But God, where are you? I need you now. I need you now. I need you now. Yeah, that's right. That's it. I need you now. Yeah. I need you now. Ah. Old school. God, where are you? What are you doing, man? Like, dog. That's how he felt. He running for his life, and God told him to go stand on the mountain. And God sent a hurricane wind, an earthquake, and a fire. But I want you to pay attention to, I want you to pay attention to what they said. God wasn't in any of those things. It's like he was listening for God's voice. God sent these things. What do you do when God ain't there? What do you do when God not there? What do you do when God is not where you thought he would be? God told him to go stand on a mountain. So if I'm standing on a mountain and you send a hurricane, then I expect you to be there. If I'm going through anxiety and you tell me to go get a therapist, I expect to be healed. Period, Pooh. I didn't feel like God was with me last year. People hurt me. Not physically, because my wife wouldn't allow that. But like I was hurt. And put your hand out. Put your hand out. My pastor did this Sunday. When we dealing with people hurt, a lot of times we holding on to our people like this. We grabbing on to them and we don't want to release them. But we give people the space to hurt us all of the time because we say that we love them. I'm going to talk about love on this next one, I believe. But, we say that we love them and, we don't want to let them go, but yet they keep hurting you. God saying you never got to hold on to people like this. You're supposed to keep your hands open because when you holding on to it like that, but God, you blessed me with them a long time ago. And God said, yeah, but they hurting you right now. He said, I gave them to you for that season. Keep your hands open so I can take them out. Ooh. That was huge for me. Last year, I had people in my life that wasn't supposed to be in my life. I'm trying to go out there. I'm on the mountain, God, but I was trying to make it happen for myself. God was like, your hands closed. Open your hands. And when you open your hands, your heart open. Because whatever you're holding on to is where your heart is. Oh. So God said, I want you to have your open hands so I can take the people out of your life and put the right people in. What you praying for, I can't give it to you because you're holding on to something else. There's something else occupying that space. And so what do you do when God is not there? What do you do when you've been hurt by people? What do you do? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. I just want you to know that you're not alone. I still can't understand. I think I got my theory. Let me tell you my theory. Sometimes God puts us in positions to where we know that it ain't nobody but God. We always talk about God is good all the time, and all the time God is good when he blesses us with this job and a car and everything else. But then when we're going through our hurricane, our earthquake, and our fire, we don't even be talking to God. But we're like, God, where are you? God is like, I'm right here. I just want to kind of test your foundation. Because if anything is jacked up, it's your foundation. It's like, here, I'm here. I will never leave you, nor will I forsake you. I will always love you. And I will always love you. You know what I'm saying? That's God in our lives. He ain't going nowhere. It's us that's going somewhere. It's us holding on to the stuff that we don't want to let go of. And God is saying, until you let go of it, your foundation is going to be shaken. Whoo. I ain't going nowhere. So to answer your question, God, where are you? Oh, he right there. He is right there. Because when you're ready to jump off that bed into his arms, no matter how far you're away from God, God is going to be there to catch you. Let me tell you something. Elijah didn't hear him through the earthquake, the hurricane winds, or the fire, but he heard him through a gentle whisper. Let me say it. Be still and know that I am God. Sometimes you got to stop. You got to fast. See, that's the problem. You doing all this praying and you ain't fasting. You talk too much. Praying is you talking. Fasting is you listening. Oh, I'm listening to God. No, you're not. You talking to God. There's a difference. Prayer and fast go. Prayer works better with fasting. Fasting works better with prayer. Like, you can't disconnect prayer and fasting. There's a lot of y'all that's praying, but you ain't fasting. That's why you don't hear God. I'm telling you, go without social media. You know what I hate? I don't like the people. I don't like the people that got more time for social media than they got me. Oh, I'm gonna call you, and then you make 10 posts on social media before you call me. I'm tired. But you posting on social media. You know, that's just me, and that's why I say I got to pull myself back, because I can't give. Ooh, this is good. Thank you. I can't give people energy that they don't give me. The reason why you looking for God, because you done used all your energy on all of these other people out here in this world, and you ain't even got enough energy to get a God. Whew. Are you still enough to hear God through that gentle whisper? Is your foundation strong enough to endure your trials and tribulations? You're going to get through your anxiety. Trust me. You're going to get through your depression. You're going to get through your obesity, but you got to get up and be willing to go through the earthquake, the fire, and the hurricane. You got to get up and go to the gym. You got to go find a therapist. You got to go find a counselor. I'm telling you, you got to get up and go make sure that you are battle tested. You want it easy, but it ain't going to always be easy. It's not going to always be easy. You're going to have to do some things. David still had to go get the slingshot and the rocks. Yeah, he beat his Goliath, but he still had to do something. And so it's 22 minutes. Y'all, I'm going to drop a lot of these. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I can't talk. I'm so happy. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the King's Corner. Get ready. We're about to have some special guests. I'm getting it off the ground, getting my content out. Y'all be sure you comment for me, please. I would appreciate it. I know y'all are liking it, but just let me know how I bless you. It means everything to me. All right, y'all, I'm gonna sign out of here. About to get ready for Real Life with the Williams. Like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to Real Life with the Williams. We'll have you'll see our stuff out there. So yeah, I'm going. I had a good friend that always said peace, love, chicken grease, because black people like chicken. That's so stereotypical and racist. You better not tell me that. Peace, love you. I still can't do it, so I'm gonna just do this one.